Becoming a ninja. What does it mean to be a ninja? It's more than stealth or skill. It's a way of life, a philosophy of discipline, resilience, and quiet strength. A ninja doesn't simply fight battles. They master themselves. We thrive in shadows, adapt to chaos, and find wisdom in the smallest moments. In these 5 chapters, you'll uncover what it takes to win without fighting. Embrace the art of restraint. Face your inner darkness. Adapt like water to the ever-changing world, and walk the endless path of self-mastery. This isn't just about ancient techniques. It's about living with purpose, overcoming fear, and growing into the strongest version of yourself. How to build a ninja mindset. Cold and calculated. Are you ready to step into the shadows and emerge with clarity and power? Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Unseen Struggle. In the depths of every individual lies a battle, silent, relentless, and unyielding. It is not a fight against another person, but against oneself. The challenge is to master the chaos within, to overcome the primal instincts of fear, anger, and doubt that threaten to disrupt our lives. This is where discipline begins, not in controlling others, but in governing ourselves. To win without fighting, one must first recognize that the greatest enemy is often the mind's unchecked impulses. Modern psychology identifies this as the fight-or-flight response, a survival mechanism deeply embedded in our biology. When uncontrolled, it leads to rash decisions, regrets, and missed opportunities. The Stoics knew this well. They preached the importance of responding, not reacting. To pause, to breathe, to think before engaging is to reclaim your power. But what drives this internal conflict? It is the constant pull of desires, the craving for recognition, and the fear of insignificance. These are illusions, distractions from what truly matters. Seeking fame or fortune might seem like a noble quest, but it often leads to a hollow victory. Fulfillment does not come from external applause, but from internal peace, a tranquility achieved by aligning actions with values. To walk this path of ninja, one must cultivate virtues, integrity, courage, patience, and of course, calculatedness. These are not mere words. They are shields against the storms of life. Like the roots of a tree, they anchor us, allowing us to endure even the fiercest winds. To win the unseen struggle is to rise above distractions and embrace the quiet strength within. Chapter 2. The Art of Restraint. In a world driven by instant gratification, restraint becomes a forgotten art. To a disciplined mind, restraint is not weakness. It is strength refined. The ability to hold back, to assess, and to choose wisely is the cornerstone of mastery. For the ninja, as for the Sigma, the power lies in understanding when not to act. Psychologists describe the phenomenon of delayed gratification as a key to success and self-retreat. Studies, like the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment, 1972, show that those who can resist immediate temptation often achieve greater long-term rewards. Restraint, therefore, is not about denying oneself pleasure, but about investing in a more profound outcome. The restraint begins with a recognition of limits, not as barriers but as boundaries that protect what is essential. It is knowing that not every battle is worth fighting, and that sometimes the best course of action is inaction. This principle aligns with the Stoic belief in focusing only on what is within our control. External events, the opinions of others, or the allure of fleeting pleasures, they are beyond our influence and unworthy of our energy. In practicing restraint, you preserve not only your strength, but also your dignity. A sharp blade dulls with reckless strikes. A mind scattered by impulse loses its edge. To endure is not merely to survive, but to thrive in the face of adversity. Like water carving stone, patience and persistence are more powerful than any sudden force. Restraint teaches us that victory is not always visible. It is found in the discipline of silence, in the calm refusal to be provoked, and in the quiet confidence of one who walks their own path. Chapter 3. The Shadow Within. The most formidable battles are those waged in the shadows, against doubts, fears, and the hidden aspects of ourselves we are reluctant to face. These internal struggles are not obstacles to be avoided, but opportunities for growth and transformation. The way of the disciplined individual, much like the ninja, is to confront the darkness within and emerge stronger. Psychology speaks of the shadow self, a term introduced by Carl Jung, representing the parts of ourselves we suppress or deny. Left unacknowledged, this shadow can control us, manifesting as anxiety, anger, or irrational behavior. Yet when confronted and integrated, it becomes a source of immense power. To face your shadow is to claim ownership of your entire being, to no longer be at war with yourself. The Stoics advised looking inward regularly, a practice akin to modern self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This self-awareness is not for vanity but for clarity. To see yourself fully, even the parts you wish to hide, is to dismantle illusions and stand firmly in truth. In the shadows, you learn that fear is not to be eliminated but understood. Fear is a guide. It shows you where to focus, where to grow. Much like a candle illuminates a dark room, courage lights the way through fear. Each step into the unknown brings you closer to understanding your own potential. Victory in this battle is subtle. It is not about conquering the shadow, but embracing it, recognizing it as part of the whole. The shadows are not your enemy, they are your teacher, revealing the depth of your character and the resilience of your spirit. Chapter 4. The Dance of Adaptation. Secret superpower of Sigma, shapeshifting. As Robert Greene says, formlessness. The playlist will be down in the description box or in the pinned comment. Life is an unpredictable flow of events, and rigidity is its adversary. Those who resist change or cling too tightly to one way of thinking are often broken by life's inevitable shifts. Like a skilled martial artist, we must learn to adapt, to move fluidly with circumstances, and to thrive amidst uncertainty. Adaptation is not submission, it is mastery of the self in the moment. The principle of adaptation aligns with the psychological concept of cognitive flexibility, which refers to the mind's ability to adjust its thinking in response to changing environments. Studies reveal that individuals with greater cognitive flexibility tend to handle stress better and solve problems more creatively. They are not bound by a single perspective, but can view situations from multiple angles, finding solutions others might overlook. Philosophically, adaptation is about humility. The Stoics believed in accepting the natural course of life, while exercising control over their own responses. They understood that life is like a river, constantly moving, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent. To resist its flow is futile. Instead, we must learn to navigate its currents, adjusting our approach while staying true to our values. In adaptation, there is both strength and grace. It requires listening to the rhythm of life and responding with precision. A rigid tree snaps in the storm, but the flexible reed bends and survives. The same is true for us. To adapt is not to lose oneself, but to refine oneself, to transform challenges into opportunities for growth. Remember, no single technique or approach will suffice for every situation. Wisdom lies in knowing when to hold firm and when to adjust, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to wait. Mastery is not about controlling every variable, but about being ready for whatever comes. Chapter 5. The Endless Path. The goal is not to reach a peak. The goal is the journey. To think you have gotten there is to trip, because the mind that is content does not grow. Growth requires continuous action, continuous transitioning, and a preparedness to continuously learn and let go of prior knowledge in the process. Saying that, the journey is not an endpoint towards the attainment of goals, it is a process. Dweck's growth mindset in psychology provides with this perspective, the ability to see what the challenge is, to see what failure is, and what effort is in the growth mindset. is different. This is not cudged by fear of inability to perform, but liberation by the potentiality of improvement every day. On this epistemological sense, it harmonizes with the beliefs of Stoicism because life itself is considered a practice. Of course, there are no winners and losers, no last lesson, only the daily battle to exist in a virtuous manner with goals. Quoting Heraclitus again, one cannot step in the same river twice, for the river is not the same anymore, as we are not the same too. The path of the infinite does not make a chain, an opportunity to forever never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop striving. To walk this path, you must abandon the illusion of completion. The sword is never fully sharpened. The mind is never entirely wise. Each day brings the opportunity to refine your craft, to deepen your character, to grow stronger in the face of adversity. There is no finish line, only milestones that mark how far you have come. The endless path demands patience, humility, and resilience. It teaches you to find fulfillment not in outcomes, but in the pursuit itself. This is the way of the warrior, the philosopher, and the seeker. Forever moving, forever growing, forever becoming.